Heidelberg sits along the banks of the Neckar River, tucked between forested hills in the state of Baden-Württemberg. Its setting alone feels like the scene out of a storybook. Cobblestone streets and a castle perched up dramatically on the hillside above the old town. Heidelberg itself has a long and rich history. It was actually spared from heavy bombing during World War II, which means its Altstadt, or its old town, still has original medieval streets and Baroque architecture. Walking around town in Heidelberg makes you feel like you're stepping back in time, with charming cafes, churches, and one of Europe's oldest universities. Heidelberg University was founded in 1386, making it Germany's oldest. It's been the center of learning for centuries and attracted famous thinkers, poets, and scientists. Another thing you can see while on the riverboat tour is the old bridge, which is called the Karl Theodor Bridge. It's been on the river since the 18th century. It connects the old town to the hills, where there are actual walking paths that wind up to Philosopher's Walk, a scenic trail that has inspired generations of writers and philosophers. The view of the castle up on the hill makes the riverboat tour worth it for sure. From the center of the downtown, you can make the hike up to the Heidelberg Castle, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes. As you can see, the path gets steep. It's about a 10% grade, but it's worth the wait. While winding up the cobblestone streets and stone steps, you gotta make sure you take a breather, check on your walking buddy, and take the views in. As you get closer to the top, the castle walls start to rise larger above you until you finally pass through the gates and onto the terraces where the sweeping views of the city and valley unfold. The castle itself, referred to as the Heidelberg Schloss, is the city's most famous landmark, and construction began in the 13th century, and over time it grew into a mix of Gothic and Renaissance styles. There is a nice deck up top for a vantage point where you can see the valley and the river below. The castle itself was built with red sandstone. Inside the castle is actually the Great Wine Barrel, which is the world's largest wine barrel that's ever been filled. 219,000 liters of wine, or nearly 58,000 gallons of wine. It was built in 1751, and nobles actually used to hold parties on top of the barrel, dancing on and celebrating like it was a stage. On the upper side of the castle, there's a series of courtyards. These open spaces were once filled with soldiers, servants, and nobles moving between the castle's various wings. These courtyards are perfect areas for cultural events and concerts. As you walk around the courtyards, you can notice multiple signs that give you a little overview of those surrounding buildings. Make sure you take a tour of the German Pharmacy Museum, which is housed inside the castle itself, where you can find centuries-old apothecary jars, tools, and instruments once used to prepare medicine. Also, don't miss the Cigar Museum. This is a charming exhibit that highlights historical cigars and smoking accessories, reflecting Heidelberg's social and cultural history. Wifey had to grab that Nutella crepe before heading up to the wedding venue. Now for the main event at the Hoher Darsberg. This estate is located atop a hill near Neckarsteinach.
There's no shortage of privacy as this venue sits on about 6 acres and has plenty of overnight accommodation space for your friends and family joining you from across the world.